Good evening students, welcome back to UB tutorial classes. In previous class we studied about listening skill and the speaking skills. Today, now we are going to learn another one skill is called a reading skill. Reading is one of the language skills that you will study and practice in this textbook. Remember, reading is one of the most important activities any successful student does in any course of study. It is important to note that reading is an active process. You need to apply strategies that will enable you make sense of what you read. The chapter aims at making you a good reader, somebody who will able to monitor your rate of progress as you read and improve your understanding. To do this, you will be introduced to a number of strategies or approaches at both surface and deeper levels. There will be also be opportunities for you to practice. Specifically, you will be introduced to strategies of reading, namely skimming, scanning, then active reading, reading for comprehension. You will also be introduced to resources within a text such as graphics, conventions, symbols, layout, punctuation, figures, diagrams, tables, pictures, and word roots in sciences. Then the chapter will also discuss some barriers or obstacles to effective reading. Then what are the outcomes of reading skills? By the end of this chapter, you should be able to, the first one is describe a variety of reading strategies effective readers as they read a text for comprehension, apply a chosen strategy to read an identified passage, discuss a common barriers to effective reading, suggest ways of solving problems readers experience during their reading activities, read any recourse effectively using any of the reading strategies discussed, and the last one is read text critically to help you evaluate the given information. A good way of getting started on developing your reading skills is to think about how you read a text or passage. There are three main reading techniques that you can use: scanning, skimming, and focused reading. Let us discuss each in turn, my dear students. The first one is scanning. The technique of scanning is a useful one to use if you want to get an overview of the text you are reading as a whole, its shape, the focus of each section, the topics or key issues that are dealt with, and so on. In order to scan a piece of text, you might look for subheadings or identify keywords and phrases which give you clues about its focus. Another useful method is to read the first sentence or two of each paragraph in order to get the general gist of the discussion and the way that is progress. And if you go to the next one is scanning is used to find a particular piece of information. Run your eyes over the text looking for the specific piece of information you need. Use scanning on schedules, meeting, plans, etc. in order to find the specific details you require. If you see words or phrases that you don't understand, don't worry when scanning it. And scanning is what you do to find an answer to a specific question. You may run your eyes quickly down the page in zigzag, winding S pattern. If you are looking for a name, you note capital letters. For a date, you look for numbers. Vocabulary, words may be bold-faced or italicized. When you scan for information, you read only what is needed. Examples for scanning: the words on TV section of your newspaper, a telephone number in the dictionary, and horoscope guide. So the second one is skimming. Skimming is used to quickly gather the most important information or gist. run your eyes over the text. Nothing important information. Use skimming to quickly to get to speed on a current business situation. It's not essential to understand each word when skimming. Skimming is covering the chapter to get some of the main ideas and general overview of the material. It is what you do first when reading a chapter assignment. You don't read for details at this point. Here is how you skim a chapter. Read the first paragraph of the chapter line by line. Next, read all the bold print headings starting at the beginning. Then, read the first sentence of every paragraph. Study any pictures, graphs, charts, and maps. Finally, read the last paragraph of the chapter. As you skim, you could write down the main ideas and develop a chapter outline. Example for skimming is they are the newspaper, for example, quickly to get the general news of the day, magazines, quickly to discover which articles you would like to read in more detail, and the third one is business and travel brochures, quickly to get informed, and the last one is focused reading. Focused reading employs two sub-skills, namely extensive and intensive reading. However, the idea is to have an area of emphasis or focus. In other words, it is purposeful kind of reading during which you target a specific area of study. Let us examine how the two skills relate to and differ from each other. The extensive reading. Extensive reading is used to obtain a general understanding of a subject and includes reading longer text for pleasure as well as business books. Use extensive reading skills to improve your general knowledge of business procedure. Do not worry if you do not understand each word. Examples for extensive reading are the latest marketing strategy book, a novel you read before going to bed, magazine articles that interest you. So these are the examples for extensive reading. And the next one is intensive reading. Intensive reading is used on shorter text in order to extract specific information. It includes very close, accurate reading for details. Use intensive reading skills to grasp the details of specific situation. In this case, it is important that you understand each word, number, or fact. And examples of intensive reading are a laboratory report, a journal or newspaper article, and a business letter. My dear friends, the reading skill, it has its sub-skills. Now, let us study one by one what are the sub-skills of reading. The first one is understanding lexical items, their conceptual meanings, parts of sentence, relationship between sentences and grammatical devices, locating the main idea and supporting details, and selecting relevant facts, pieces of information, etc. And the fourth one is grasping the general idea in the passage. Fifth one is locating a specific piece of information. And the last, interpreting the text by going outside it. And what are the importance of reading skill? Yes, the reading skills are the most important for the students and also the readers. Reading skills are the key to. The first one is, yes, the general knowledge, spelling, writing, abilities and vocabulary. The passion of learning and advancing. The third one is the success in most academic and occupational fields. Improve grammar and spellings. And the last one is a healthy self-concept. Then there are the lot of differences there in between oral reading and the silent reading. Then what are the difference between is here oral reading and silent reading? Oral reading means reading aloud with expression. Reading aloud with expression. And oral reading is vital, means important in beginning. With oral readers, the pronunciation of the word is most important. And now let's come to the second one is silent reading. Reading without pronouncing words out loud. reading to oneself and beneficial for a lifetime. Then now let's come to what are the importance of oral reading? Yes, what are the importance of oral reading? Oral teaching should be introduced only when enough practice has been given in oral work. Thus, it should be done after 2 or 3 months of oral practice of words which are generally found in readers. Then, aims of oral reading. The aims of oral reading, what are those? They enable the students to read with expressions, to enable the students to read with correct articulation, stress, intonation, and the rhythm, to test students' knowledge of pronouncing words, phrases, and sentences, to enable the students to comprehend the meaning of the text, to give them practice in oral reading, and to prepare them for silent reading. So, such as the importance of SR, we call it SR in short form, silent reading. Then what are the importance of silent reading? So the aims of silent reading are as follows: to enable the students to read without sounds or moving lips, to enable the students to read with fluency and speed, to enable the students to read with comprehension. The next one is to increase the vocabulary of the student. And the last one is, according to Rayburn, the aims of silent reading are: it gives pleasure and profit to be able to read for interest and to get deformation. Then, is there any developing reading skills are there? Yes, some developing reading skills are there. They are such as: 1. Do we do read? Why do we read? How do effective readers read? Ways of reading, skills of reading, how to design reading tasks, reading activities, procedures of teaching reading. So these are the developing reading skills, dear students. So now let's come to the last one is use of dictionary in reading. Yes, without a dictionary we can't read. I'm not telling like this completely, it's the right one, but the use of dictionary is very useful to the reading, because read some more reading is by far the best way to improve your English vocabulary. It means if you increase your vocabulary, it will be helps to read the text. And the second one is use a dictionary. It amazes me how many students do not use a dictionary. And keep a vocabulary notebook so you find a new word while reading a text. Learn words by category or the themes and make collocations. And the last one is word formation. So dear students, it's all about your reading skills. So in this class we are studied about what is meant by reading skill, and its introduction I already gave you in the beginning of the chapter, and its sub-contents, skimming, scanning, then focused reading. So these are the main important parts of reading skill. And also we are studied about the sub-skills of reading and difference between oral and silent reading, then the importance of reading skills. So it's all about your reading skills, dear students. So if you have any questions, you can ask me any questions in the WhatsApp group, or you can send a message individually. Thank you one and all.